Eaton here. I'm going to take a walk around the seedling orchard, and I just thought I'd bring you with me, see if anybody has any interest in anything pawpaw related. So these first three on the right here, these are transplants from the main row, and the fruit on it is kind of substandard actually, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to graft them to a better variety. So here's the first one. I went ahead and did it a week ago. I've not seen growth out of it yet. There's number two. We're checking them every day now because they're getting close, but I don't want to bring them out prematurely, dry them out unnecessarily. So this was transplanted. It's probably a 15-year-old tree, whereas the rest in the rows are about 12 years old. And I'd say that one's 12 feet tall probably. So coming back to the actual seedling orchard now, we're staring into the sun, so that's not ideal. That tree there, it's 15 feet tall probably, and it does have fruit on it. The fruit wasn't exceptionally sized. It was good flavored, but nothing really exciting really on that one. Now look at the size of it. It's a big tree. It's not putting a lot of effort into putting out fruit. On the other hand, this little tree right here is one that I've selected amongst the entire orchard as being spectacular, because this is the third year in a row now, and as you can see, this tree has large fruit and lots of fruit for a tiny little tree. I'd have to keep diving around to find it, but for a little tiny tree, it's putting its effort into making fruit, not leaves and sticks. So maybe if you grew this variety, you'd want to, keep it choked back for a little while and get it up to size before it starts going crazy making all these fruit. This tree had 16 fruit on it last year, and I bet that big tree did not have 16 fruit on it. So that's one to watch. We're calling that Tracy. The majority of the rest of these trees out here I'm monitoring, because every once in a while you'll think you don't have anything, and then you cut it down and you've made a mistake. You actually did have something and now you don't. So I don't even see a fruit on that tree. You have to be patient. Case in point, this tree right here I was impatient with. We're calling this tree TLC, and I grafted it right over there in an earlier video. But this tree here, I went ahead and put overlease on top of it because the fruit that it put out, nothing special. And it just was calling me to graft it the way it was growing. So then, the year after I graft it, it shows its real face. And it's putting out monstrous fruit. Now these are not a good example, but all over this tree, this tiny little tree again, are great big fruit. This thing puts out the big ones. The flavor was good, so this is number 2 out of about 100 seedlings. So far, nothing else is really impressing me that much. But it's a lifelong thing. You have to be prepared to wait. That tree is just as it is. It really hasn't produced anything. It's growing like a bean pole. Sometimes you can get something grafted and it looks wonderful. It's putting out a nice little set there. But the deer come along and just tear the living daylights out of it for you. And so you get to start considering what to do when it dies. That thing there has died back, and like a pawpaw will, it's sprouting like mad down at the base. The rest of these trees, they're all a good 10, 12 feet tall. They've been here for probably 12 to 15 years. You know, we don't particularly baby them, but they get what they need. There's the basal sprouting. So I had every kind of fruit tree you could name out here. Apples, peaches, nectarines, you name it. They would all die on me. The bugs would get them. So this pear tree has survived, and so now it has some red pears grafted to it. It's a Bartlett, and we put some red on it, put a couple oriental pears on it up there in the shade, and it's normally here, that's the rest of the tree is a Bartlett. So that's kind of fun there. But like I said, I periodically check all these trees, and nothing else is standing out so far. Here we have a pear tree that the birds planted, the wild Bradford pear. They like to poop those out and plant them for you. So it was in such a great spot, I went ahead and just put a good variety of pear on it. Now you can see cedar apple rust, fire blight, what have you. The top variety is susceptible, so it may or may not do well here at all. I was hoping the rootstock would help that. So over here, well, see, there's some more deer damage. You can do as well as you want unless you have everything caged off. You're going to suffer some damage. So out of this line here, the last line on the property, the pawpaw has gone underground and been mowed, and now it found a safe spot up here on the fence line where it doesn't get mowed. Well, pretty soon it's over in my neighbor's yard. So now my neighbor has pawpaw trees. Something to keep in mind, you know, maybe he wants them, maybe he doesn't. In this case, I'm lucky and he likes them. So since he likes them, I figured I'd go ahead and give him something to like. I put a grafted variety there. Did one here the other week, and it's starting to grow out, so it's just got a little shade on it now. And then, like that other video showed, a bark graft. Here's a little guy. That's also overleaf, so I really like that variety. So this year, this thing should go ahead and come on up here, and I put them both together here just for insurance, so I'd know I'd get one. This one here was extra insurance in case they died. I could start all over again. I'm going to go ahead and take him out, though, because that's unnecessary. So once you get a pawpaw orchard going, your neighbors are going to enjoy too, because they do not stay put. He's got 2 trees that I can see over there, at least. So there's the front orchard. In the foreground there, we've got chestnuts and pawpaws inner road, one after the other. The pawpaws will handle more shade than the chestnuts will, and eventually that'll all fill in. So pine trees don't seem to like it around here. They're dying off slowly, one by one. But the pawpaws, they are doing fine, thank you.